Crossroads. Each Crossroads story is based on the actual experiences of American clergymen, pastor, priest, or rabbi, the men who give inspiration and guidance to people at the crossroads of life. These dramatic stories are presented with the cooperation of our Board of Advisors, Captain Maurice M. Witherspoon, Father George B. Ford, and Dr. William F. Rosenblum.
Where do you think you're going?
I was thinking of coming in.
You can read, can't you?
Does that sign mean that Mike Mitchell is turning away woodsmen?
Woodsman? You don't look like any lumberjack to me. And what camp did you drift from last?
Cedar Junction?
You hoofed it? From Cedar Junction, 70 miles?
Well, I hired a horse to Rapid Falls, but I've been traveling on Shank's mare ever since.
And what do you know about Mike Mitchell?
Oh, I heard he's a man-eating grizzly. Has something gone wrong?
Nothing. Except that blacksmith of mine is off in a roaring, fallen down blind drunk, and I'm left with 30 head of mules to shoe.
Well, where's your forge?
You can shoe mules?
I can show him.
What are you standing there wasting time for? Come on in. You can go to work. What did you say your name was?
Dick Farrell.
Farrell, huh? Well, I'm Tim Hogan, straw boss of Camp Number 1. You still don't hit me for no lumberjack, no blacksmith either.
Well, let's leave it up to the mules.
All right. Well, let's keep the mules waiting, then. I gotta hand it to you, Farrell. You sure can handle mules.
There's not much difference between a man and a mule, Tim.
They're both a little ornery and jug-headed, huh?
Sometimes it's a little hard to convince both of them just what's good for them.
Well, you sure convinced these here mules.
Well, this is the last one, isn't it?
Yeah, you can knock off after this one, and I'll show you where the bunkhouse is.
Good.
Hi, you must be the new man. You gonna bunk in next to me?
Yes, Hogan told me to take this bunk.
Sure, make yourself at home. I'm Charlie Mitchell.
Well, I'm Dick Farrell.
I hear you're quite a hand with mules.
Well, I wouldn't want to make a career out of it. It's like that liniment you see advertised. Maybe I'm good for man or beast. You any relation to Mike Mitchell?
His son.
Oh, I didn't mean to get personal. It's a name, you know.
Yeah, I know the name. What's this stuff you're lugging in your war bag?
My tools.
Bibles? Tracts? Church magazines? What are you, a holy Joe?
That's right. The dark secret would have to be revealed sometime, wouldn't it?
But you said your name was Dick?
It is. Richard Farrell. I'm a minister on the Presbyterian Board of Missions, assigned to the logging camps.
A minister shoeing mules?
Well, it's like I told you. I hope I'm good for man and beast.
Tim Hogan couldn't have known that. He wouldn't have hired you. My father. He's run off every preacher who had nerve enough to come here.
Your father doesn't like preachers?
Well, my father doesn't like much of anything, or anybody.
And what has he got against us preachers?
Mike Mitchell doesn't give reasons, just orders.
Does he order the free time of the men, too?
Well, when you work for him, you don't have any free time. It all belongs to him. Every hour of every day of your whole life.
Sure, I love the dear silver that shines in your hair, and the brow that's all furrowed and wrinkled with care. I kiss the dear finger so toil-worn for me. Oh, God bless you and keep you, Mother McCreary.
That's a pretty little song, touching too. I ain't heard it for years, since I was a little boy.
That's right, the old songs. They're the best.
Sing another one, Farrell.
All right, what'll it be?
Oh, something lively.
All right, another one. And this time it's going to be good and lively.
Give me that old-time religion, give me that old-time religion, give me that old-time religion. It's good enough for me. It was good for my mother, it was good for my brother, it was good for my sister. It's good enough for me. Give me that old... Now, come on, let's hear it. Sing it out. Give me that old-time religion, give me that old-time religion. Louder! Old-time religion, it's good enough for me. Give me that old-time religion, give me that old-time religion. Old-time religion, it's good enough for me.
That was pretty good, wasn't it?
You know, I ain't heard that song either in years. Not since my mother used to sing it for me. Almost forgotten it until Farrell started to bang it out.
Ah, it's funny how a fella forgets things like that.
You know, I don't really believe that we forget those things. We sort of push them into the back of our minds. For instance, no man could really forget his mother. Her teachings, love, influence. Just as no man could ever really forget his God. Look up there at those trees, that sky. When a man works in the wood, he's always in the presence of God. Because somehow God is so much nearer in this world. This world as he made it. And in the woods, we have no need of great churches. The dome of heaven is the vaulted ceiling of a woodsman's cathedral. And its horizons are its walls. And the sunlight through the pines is softer and more jewel-like than any artificial light through a man-made stained glass window. And all this is of God. This is the real old-time religion.
Who is this guy, Hogan? Farrell?
Well, I'm working for you, Mr. Mitchell.
What doing? Teaching these canaries how to sing?
Well, on my own time. As a matter of fact, they don't need much teaching. All they need is something to sing about.
I don't need a gospel shark's advice on how to run a lumber camp. Especially one who sneaked his way into my woods.
Well, God was here before Mike Mitchell.
You hired him, now fire him.
I didn't know he was a preacher when I took him on.
What difference does it make? Mike Mitchell is a man who always said he didn't care what a man was, as long as he did a full day's work for a day's pay.
And I've always said that I never knew a holy Joe who didn't cause trouble. However, if you want to keep him around to sing you to sleep and see to it that you say your prayers before you go to bed, you can have him. But get this, Farrell. You'll stay in this camp just as long as you do a day's work for a day's pay. Fine congregation you've picked for yourself. Where you going to hold services? At the gin mill in town?
Wheresoever even one or two of you are gathered in my name, there I shall also be.
Whoa! Hold it, Dick. I'm beat.
Something's been bothering you all day. You can outsaw me 2-1.
Please, honey, don't look at me like that. I have to go, you know that. It isn't forever. Just till I get enough money together for us to make a start.
But you don't have to go. You can work right here.
Doing what? Lumber is the only business I know. Been in the woods all my life, except for school.
We've talked and talked about it for a whole week. But since your father sent for you, you haven't given me one good reason why I can't go with you.
It's like Dad says. A lumber camp is no place for a young girl.
It's always what your father says, isn't it? He makes up your mind for you. What about me? Doesn't it matter what I say? What I want? You're going back there because that's what he wants. To have you with him.
Peggy, you're seeing this thing all wrong.
Oh, no. You're the one who's blind. You don't want to admit the truth. But your father will never forgive me for marrying you. For taking away something he considers belongs to him. You.
I'm going back. Just long enough to earn the money we need.
You're going back, first of all, to try and change his mind about us. All right, Charlie. Here.
Oh, Peggy, I love you. Don't forget that, even for a minute.
Try not to. You'll have to run.
Goodbye, darling.
Goodbye. Give your father my love. Even if he doesn't want it.
Not bad news, I hope.
Oh, no, not exactly. It's a letter from Peggy.
She must be a wonderful girl from what you told me.
Dick, tell me something. How much does a son really owe his father?
Honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee.
Well, what if it's a little hard for the son to honor the father?
Every child owes his parents love, respect, loyalty.
What if the father's never really wanted love? Just obedience, subservience, no matter what the son wants?
Well, I find it hard to think of a father who would repulse the love of his son.
My father's repulsed the love of everyone, even my mother. To him, she was just a chattel, too. Something that belonged to him, someone to give orders to. She endured it, till he broke her spirit and her heart, and she left him. He never forgave her. Just as he'll never forgive me for marrying Peggy or for wanting a life of my own. Peggy told me that. I thought she was wrong. I know now she was right. He's trying to force me to make a choice between him and my wife.
Well, under these circumstances, you really have no choice. In the book of Genesis, God says, "Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother, and shall cleave unto his wife, and they shall be one flesh."
Thanks, Dick. I know now what I have to do.
Is this the way you do a day's work for a day's wages, Farrell? Loafing?
I knocked off, Dad. Dick was running me ragged.
Well, if it's too much for you, we'll put a man on the other end of that saw with Farrell. What is this? Asking for your time at the end of the month.
Just that. I'm leaving.
You're leaving? For where?
For home?
This is your home. Right here. It's always been your home.
My home is with Peggy.
I've got to give her credit. She sure has you wrapped around her little finger.
Well, if that means do I love her, she sure has.
You dope. That girl is twice as smart as you. She knows your old man is Mike Mitchell, the lumber king. To her, that's money in the bank. That's why she's latched onto you.
She also knows I don't have a nickel in the world of my own.
Well, you can tell her from me that you're not going to get a nickel either. Not from me.
Let's just leave Peggy out of this.
Look, kid, why are we always locking horns with each other when it's you and I against the whole world? Because I'm rough and tough? Because I want you to be rough and tough? Because I've never let anything stand in the way to where I was going? Because I've tried to raise you the same way? You don't seem to understand. You're all I have. And someday, all of this is going to belong to you. You'll step into my shoes.
Not if it's going to do to me what it's done to you.
You haven't lived enough to learn that you've got to have guts to get where you're going.
Must be awfully lonely after you get there.
Okay. So I'm no good, is that it? Come on, out with it.
All right, let's out with it. I don't think you have a friend in the world. All you have is money and power. You don't even try to make friends. You try to buy them at bargain prices. If you can't buy them, you smash them or drive them out of your life, like you did my mother.
It was her choice, to stay or to go. She made it. But you've never forgiven me for that, have you?
Have you ever forgiven yourself? You gave her the same choice with you that you're giving me with Peggy. Only I'm not going to wait like Mother did till it's too late.
Was that gospel shouter who put you up to this? He turned you against me. That's what you were talking about when I surprised you with your heads together this morning.
He helped me to answer a question I hadn't been able to answer by myself. You know, it might be a good idea for you to have a talk with him. Maybe it'd help you.
Get out, before I forget I am your father.
You've almost made me wish you weren't.
You think you're gonna say goodbye just like this, you're mistaken. Because I'm gonna give you a send-off.
Sure you won't change your mind, Dick? Leave with me.
I'm sorry, Charlie. I can't.
He's gonna make it awful tough for you.
Perhaps, but maybe this is just the beginning of my job. You know, the Lord works in strange ways, his wonders to perform. Maybe Mike Mitchell is a job I was sent to do. Goodbye, Charlie. With my best wishes and with my prayers.
His goodbye was thanks to you.
Mitchell, your son asked my advice as a minister of the gospel and as a friend. I didn't answer his questions. God did, centuries ago.
Out of your mouth?
Mitchell, there are some things we can't slug out. Perhaps you don't even understand why I'm not angry with you. But I'm sorry for you. I pity you.
I'll give you 10 minutes to pack up and get off my property.
Come on, Charlie. This is a send-off. Now get happy. It's a lot like getting out of jail, a life sentence.
Well, I'll have one, then I better get down to the station.
Now, I'll see you get to the train. Don't worry. Fill him up again now, will you?
I'll pass.
Oh, now, come on. A man can't walk on one leg. One more for the road.
Okay, one more for the road.
Atta boy.
This is on me.
Put your money away, Charlie.
But it's my party.
I know it is, but I'm giving it.
It's Mike Mitchell's kid, ain't it?
Yeah, that's Tim Hogan, straw boss of Camp One with him.
It's quite a role he's flashing. Could get him in trouble.
It sure could.
We'll make it look just like another fight between the townspeople and lumberjacks. Cut the kid out of the bar, into the back room. Watch where you're shoving.
There's plenty of room here. Don't crowd me.
No room in this town for lumberjacks, or in this bar either.
Well, if you're looking for trouble, we can handle it. Charlie's in there. They're after his money.
They're in the back room.
Better get his wad before they start to think it's more than just a fight.
Mr. Farrell, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
This is Mike. Mike Mitchell.
Did he get on the train?
Yes, he did. Thanks to you.
I'm glad.
I've been sitting here 3 days and nights just to make sure that when you did wake up, the first thing you'd see would be me.
Not long. Well, first thing I've seen is you.
The doctor will be back again any minute now, but first I want to tell you that I'd cut out my tongue if it would unsay the things I said to you and Charlie. And I'd cut off my right arm, up to here, the arm I hit him with. I just want you to know how I feel, knowing that it was you who fought for him and were there to help him after I told him to get out. Back there at the camp, you said that you were sorry for me, that you pitied me.
What I was trying to tell you, what profited a man if he gained the whole world and lose his own soul?
I'm going to need help, Mr. Farrell. Lots of help. You may be the one lying in bed, but I'm the one who feels a lot better. And now I'm going to get that doctor. And if the miserable old quack doesn't have you out of here in no time, I'll fire him. After I've run him until his legs have worn down to the nubs. Hey, see what I mean? About needing lots of help?